The following is a presentation of TFNN, The Trader's Edge, with your host, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the April 9th, terrific Tuesday edition of today's Opening Bell on The Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and thanks so much for joining me, folks. I absolutely treasure your presence here today, and my outcome, as always, is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with the tools that each of us need in order to lead an inspired life. Because leading an inspired life, folks, that is what it's all about. So let's go take a look at one of our tools. This is the tool I call fortifying your ambition. You know, to a lot of people, ambition is kind of a mystery. The dictionary says ambition is an eager desire for distinction, power, or fame. But what does that really mean? The word eager all by itself is kind of exciting. You know, think about it like this. Kids are eager for their birthday parties, and many of you out there right now, you're eager for your next trade. So the dictionary definition of ambition is eager desire. And desire is what we want for ourselves, like a desire for a bigger house or maybe a better car or a fatter bank account or just simply a better life. So desires are what you want, and ambition, well, that's how you get there. You and I, we have a remarkable ability to get exactly what we must in our lives. Underscore that word must. If we want more, all we need to do is change some of the things we desire into musts. Not coulds, not shoulds, but musts. When you make something a must, you will move mountains. When you make something coulds or shoulds, you say, oh, look at that pretty mountain out there. Not I want to move that mountain, but that's a real pretty mountain. That's what coulds and shoulds are. Now, the backbone of eager, folks, the backbone of desire and the backbone of musts comes down to simply one thing, our disciplines. If we want to be ready for tomorrow, we need to finish preparing for today. If we want a better life tomorrow, it means we need to start working on it today. Live in the moment, folks. Make today count for tomorrow. Well, tomorrow, it's counting on it. Right now, take a moment and write down some of your musts for today. Do you know what you must absolutely do to move forward, to be able to take that hill on? If you don't, just write a couple things down. What are your musts for the weeks? What are your musts for the month? What are your musts for your life? Write those down and move towards those with a eager desire, and you will fortify your ambition. Let's go take a look at the mountains out here in the marketplace. Let's go see what musts. The S&P 500, the ES Mini, the Dow, the NASDAQ, and any chart that you would like us to look at. Let's go see what musts might be out there. Just give us a call at 877-927-6648 if you're listening on the radio or your mobile device at tfnn.mobi. Thanks so much for doing that. Remember, you can always catch the live stream of this show. It goes to your smartphone device, your pad, your phone. Just go to that homepage at tfnn.com. Over on the right-hand side, you'll see a button with three little smartphones. Click on that, and you'll see this show streaming live. And as always, the archive of this show is on Channel 10. So let's start off. Yesterday, as we were completing the, I believe it was the 11 o'clock show. Yeah, it was the 11 o'clock show. So I go 9 to 11 here, Monday through Friday. As we were completing that, we were taking a look at a possible A to B equals C to up in the 30-minute chart in the ES Mini. One of the things that we noticed out there, I said, hey, if this is all the retracement that we're going to see for the day, and as we were coming right into that 11 o'clock session, we had a little bullish engulfing candle. In fact, I'll go ahead and blow that up on the screen. Our A to B move here was coming off of the lows from that big downdraft after the jobs report, jobs numbers were released at 8:30 in the morning, but it was a 9 o'clock low in the ES Mini, pushed down into that 1533 and a quarter level. That was your A point. Your B point was a move right up here into the 8 a.m. time frame yesterday. That got up to 1552. Then we saw the market go ahead and back off, formed a little bearish engulfing candle right here, coming in that 8:30 session, moved down. Now, if we take a look at that retracement, so we're going to take a look at the retracement of that B to C leg. That means we're going to go from our 8-point low all the way up to the B. We're going to use our Fibonacci ruler, which has on it the 0.382, 0.618, and 0.786 retracements. What we can see here is the retracement that was done was only a 0.382 retracement. Now, 0.382, That number, folks, that we use is really to understand the momentum in any kind of a move out there. If you only do a .382 retracement, you know that trick I used to show you. Take a rubber band that's sitting on your desk or maybe in one of your drawers and take that rubber band and wrap it around your finger. Wrap it as tight as you possibly can without breaking it. And then only back it off about 38% of the way. And then let it go. And when you let it go, what kind of energy do you have there? What kind of energy do you have there if you take that same rubber band, wrap it around your finger, and back it off 68%? Which one has more energy? Exactly, .382. When you have more energy coming out of a move, what does that mean? When you know that only 60% of the time are you going to do in 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. That's exactly right. That means that most likely the move that we're taking a look at that began yesterday morning, began on Friday morning, but at the 10:30 session as we got that bullish engulfing candle out there, that what it did was that's right, gave off some kind of nice kinetic energy, and that says a move of more than 1-to-1. We finished that 1-to-1 move. Take a look at that powerful move along that C to D line out here. That's the cool thing about this tool. Always maintain the same angle of your A to B as you do with your C to D line out here. Take a look at that. You had a nice up thrust. We finished with a wide-ranging bar coming in at the 5 p.m. Session out here. That was finishing out at the 1559 level. It was 1560. I'm sorry, it was at the 1562.75 level. 1562 was the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. Of course, getting into a bought condition, and as you know, you've got to work that off. How do you work that off? Well, you just simply move sideways. That is all that the ES Mini did during the overnight session from 5 o'clock on was just work sideways. You know, there's another candle formation that I ask you to always pay attention to on any stock chart, and that's the continuation pattern. You know, the majority of candlesticks out there, not all, but the majority of candlesticks, those that really have any meaning, are the reversal candles. There's other candles out there, but those just basically confuse the heck out of you. So it's the reversal candles you really want to understand, but you also like to be able, when you're in a trade, you also want to understand the continuation pattern. Oftentimes, have you ever asked the question, should I add to a trade? Now, we're taking a look at a 30-minute chart out here, and I'm not suggesting that you go ahead and you actually learn how to day trade. What I am suggesting that you do is you take a look at those shorter-term chart patterns, because the same techniques work on any time frame. So if you could just simply have some type of ability to see it happen more repetitively, it'll make it a lot easier for you to go ahead and answer your own question, to have that little eager desire out there. What should you do with the trade? Well, take a look at that bullish engulfing candle. I'm going to blow this up here on the chart. That's that bullish engulfing candle that came in after that .382 level right at that 11 o'clock session. And take a look at those three bodies, really four bodies here, that travel where? Inside that candle. Remember, the body of the candle, it is truly the essence of price out there. If we take a look at that, I'm going to go ahead and draw a black line. I'm just going to go ahead and not extend it, so we'll just know exactly the level that we're taking a look at. Hopefully you are watching on Tiger TV. You know, and if you can't see it real clear on Tiger TV, why not go watch it in HD? If you go watch it in HD out there, and it's easy to do, all you have to do is just simply go to the Tiger's Den. You can see all of our charts here, all of the contributors' charts in HD. It's clear as a blue sky out there. Now let's take a look at, let me just shorten this up here so we can take a look at this candle. This is the body of the candle at 11 o'clock yesterday. You know that I've said when you travel with inside that body, it's really not giving you any kind of information, not really giving any kind of information that price is ready to back off. Instead, really, it could be just the opposite. And what happened here? Take a look at this candle right here at 1:30 in the afternoon. You might have been coming back from a nice afternoon lunch, and maybe you were a little bit sleepy. You know, you were yawning, and you said, the market's really just kind of flat here. The market was kind of flat, but was giving you one of the best continuation patterns, especially having only done a .382 retracement and having only done a bullish engulfing. Maybe you wouldn't have gone ahead and taken a trade there. But you would have known, you would have said, Steve told me before he got off the air, if we only do a .382 retracement here, there is a great chance that we're going to go back and visit those highs. We're going to climb the mountain inside the ES Mini out here. but you didn't take the trade. What was your next signal? It was that continuation pattern. It was that candle right there that closed above the body, and it did it just ever so slightly, because the close of the body at 11 o'clock, that was at 15.48, and the close at 1:30, that was at 15.48 and a quarter, as small as you can get. One tick in the ES Mini contract out there, but that was all you needed to give you that continuation pattern, and continue is what the market did as it moved higher going into the close, and then a little bit higher coming into that 5 p.m. time frame out there. Now, as we take a look at that, we can see the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. It's worked off that overbought condition. You work off that overbought condition, no reason for it to not, as long as it's worked its way all the way up to the top of the mountain. No reason for it to not get all the way up there, and go take a look at that view before maybe jumping off and really starting some type of retracement out there, or perhaps even breaking out. All you have to do is sit there, watch the candles. They'll give you the information as to what the market is going to do. You want to take a look at just even a real short-term time frame. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of this data on here. We'll go ahead and clean up the chart. Why not clean it up? Because we can always add this stuff back. That's an easy thing to do. Now let's just simply come and let's take a look at what it is that we have going on here. You can see along the tops here, this candle right here at the 5:30 time frame on April the 8th. That was on Friday. Got a little dark cloud cover there. So that sets up some resistance along the tops. You got another dark cloud cover right here at about 11 o'clock at night. So we can see there's a little bit of resistance. The bears, after all, should put up a little bit of a fight, but they're actually trying right here. This candle right here looks like we've got another continuation pattern, another little rising three, albeit just a small candle. 877-927-6648. Looks like the Dow will open about 30 points up. We'll be right back.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Wealth Management. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportions of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what an asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Wealth Management financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, LLC. Member SIPC.
With the launch of TigerTV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces, and over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try patterns, profits, and peace of mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's patterns, profits, and peace of mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by BackTech Environmental. For more information, just click the BackTech banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. Right now, I did say the Dow looked like it was going to open up about 30 points, but during that break, we had the futures move back a bit. Looks like maybe the Dow opens up about 20 points right now. ES Mini trading out at 1561.75. That's up a couple of points. What we do have is, if we take a look at that black horizontal line, that's where the bears here in the early morning hours are just hanging out. I don't know that that's going to be enough to hold the bull stampede. Out. If we take a look at this, it also happens to be, I believe it's just above the, right around the 0.786 retracement. Let's take a look at that. Let's come off of the high here from Tuesday, April the 2nd, out at the 1568 level, all the way down to the lows that were put in on Friday, and just really slightly above the 0.786 retracement. That number is 1550.50. You're trading at 1561 right now. I see no reason why the ES Mini won't go ahead and move all the way back up to the top and test out those highs from last Tuesday. In fact, let's go over and take a look at the daily charts out here. As we take a look at the daily charts, let's first start off by looking at the ES Mini here. We can see the ES Mini, it is above the swing point. Its swing point from October the 11th. That's a little bit different than as we take a look at the S&P cash. On the ES Mini, it's 1556.25. So you're trading above that. You had a bearish candle on the daily basis out here. That daily candle went ahead and positioned itself right here as a bearish engulfing on the 3rd of April. You had a small bearish engulfing as well on April the 1st out there. So we know we've got some resistance. But right now you're trading inside those candles. And so the ES Mini wants to go up and it wants to tag that. Had a little bearish engulfing candle right here on the ES on the daily basis on Friday, and then yesterday, truly a fight right in here between the bulls and the bears. Yesterday, a little bullish engulfing. So the lines are truly drawn in the sand. Of course, we know that real support on the ES Mini is the high from February 21st. That level has not been able to have been broken through, no close below it, and that level would be 14.95 out there. So you want to pay attention to that price point as well as the high out here of 15.68. Of course, that is on the ES Mini. Let's go take a look at the other futures contracts here. Let's go take a look at the Russell 2000. Let's go see what the Russell is doing. That has been Mr. or Mrs. Weakling out here. However, it's got some nice candle patterns, no question about it. Had that nice little hammer candle that came in on Friday. Said that the bulls were absolutely going to go ahead and mount a charge. That was after they had a fortified position right back here with this little morning star reversal candle formation back in the end of February 26th, February 27th is when that pattern actually completed out there. And now what you're running into is an area of resistance. That was set up by the bearish engulfing candle from February 20th out there. That high is 933.20. You're trading about 932 right now. We'll see if the Russell 2000 can get above this level. I suspect that it will. It's going to need a little bit of help. It's going to need somebody to throw down down a rope and pull it up. And when it pulls it up, it's probably going to just simply try to make its way into the 0.786 retracement level, right around the 942-ish range, just really right above the support level. So we're going to call it right here at the top of that February 20th candle. We're going to say that is the 0.618 retracement. So that's what it has already done thus far. Let's go peek in on the NQ. Let's go see what the NQ is doing out here. The NQ moving up. It's also trading at the 0.618 retracement. Nice little bullish engulfing candle formed here yesterday. Looks like the NQ is assuming that the ES Mini is going to finally get the strength. It's finally going to go, and the S&P cash is finally going to go test that what is it, the 157609. I should have that number just stamped in my brain here. It's probably already stamped in yours. You're tired of hearing me say it, and everybody else, I would imagine, but should have enough energy. And if we can see the S&P and the S&P cash go ahead and do that, ought to pull the NQ up to about the 0.786 retracement level. That would take it into 2804 out there. Trading right now, it is rejected. It's trying to get into the swing point from April 2nd. The low of that is 2786 and a quarter. You're 2787 right now, 50. So not a whole lot of conviction to say that we're totally inside that swing point right now. Lastly, let's take a look at the Dow futures here. Dow futures trying to get into the resistance zone. That was set up by the bearish engulfing candle from April the 3rd out there. So it's that high, 14,610, that it's trying to tag. I see no reason why it most certainly can't do that. 877-927-6648. Let's see, popping here in the pre-market. Leaders to the upside, you got Rio Tinto. RIO is the ticker symbol. They closed at $45.97. Trade at $47.20 right now. BHP Billiton right behind them. Sanofi, SNY. They're the third dog in the clubhouse. J.C. Penney, though, being taken to the woodshed. Closed at $15.87. Trading right now out at $14.86. Starwood Properties putting more shares in the market. They're trading a bit lower, as is Medley Cap Corp. We'll be right back.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives you Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. With Market Insights, nothing is left to guessing. With the market at record levels, volatility is here, and now is a perfect time to take advantage of a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights. As recently as March 26th, Tom advised his subscribers to liquidate their 4 short-term equity holdings, closing out all 4 positions for a combined 15.9% profit. And on April 1st, Tom advised his clients to sell their longer-term position in AIG warrants, locking in more than a 40% profit in just that one trade. If you'd like to see the kind of newsletter Tom O'Brien sends out to his subscribers each morning, then sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know that you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing TigerTV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right of the TFNN homepage. But if you don't have a mobile connection that keeps up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in radio talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed for trading in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information available, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
We're off to the races. We got the Dow up 36 points, composite up 7, S&P's up 3, trade at 1566. Small caps up $1.40 right now. Google off $1.20, Apple down $1. Microsoft up 23 ticks, Intel up 12, Cisco up 21 ticks, leading the charge, the upside. Checkpoint Software, CHKP, up a nice 5% this morning, a little over $2. Life Technologies, LIFE, up a couple percentage points, that's up $1.40. Rio Tinto up $1.23. Unipixel, UNXL up $1.29. Rio Tinto up $1. Well, I already said Rio Tinto, didn't I? You've got BHP Billiton up $1.11. Gilead Science, GILD, up $1. That's it for being up $1. Down, you've got Charter Financial Corp off $2.47. I believe that is because of some additional stock they have put on the marketplace. Apple off 96 cents. J.C. Penney down 88 pennies. We're going to go take a look at that J.C. Penney chart. Starwood Properties floating some more shares out there, down 2.5%. That's off 70 cents out there. St. Jude Medical off about off 60 cents. That's off about 1.5% out there. Again, our call number is 877-927-6648. Let's check in here. You can see the S&P 500 right now. It is trading up over the little bit of a resistance level that was really set up on March the 20th out there after the downdraft on March 18th. So it's up above that level. And so we are on 1576.09 watch. It'd be a nice move today. It's only trading at 1565 right now, so it'd be a heck of a move, but look for a move over the course of today or tomorrow. We are coming into a new moon tomorrow for whatever that is worth out there. Of course, these new moons, full moons, they haven't meant a whole lot with regard to any kind of significance in a turn in a market. They'll come back into fame. They'll come back into play, but right now I think you just kind of tuck it away as interesting information out there and nothing more than that, just to be aware of it out there. So let's go take a look at some of these stocks here moving in the markets. Then we'll go take a look at the commodities section, currencies, anything else that you'd like. So let's take a look at J.C. Penney. Let's see if we can see anything that looks of any interest inside J.C. Penney. JCP is the ticker symbol out here. So let's go ahead and pull this back. And as we take a look at J.C. Penney, as far as seeing anything bullish out here in the marketplace, well, you did have some bulls rush in here on April the 4th. Had a nice little bullish engulfing candle, doing 18 million shares on that trading session, coming back and testing a swing point that had 31 million shares. So you did get a test of a swing point low out here. Let's go ahead and move the put the chart, put the line on the screen out here. So you're looking at it made a swing point low. This is on March the 6th, 31.5 million shares, and that 31.5 million shares gets tested with 18.7 million shares. Gets tested, forms a little bullish engulfing candle out here. Next area of real resistance on this is going to be this gap down. Well, first it'll run into, it's going to get some turbulence right here. If it attempts to make a run for the March 18th level, that's around 1717. That's its most recent swing point, and volume up there about 29 million shares. If that's not turbulence enough, you'll see turbulence as it gets up into the downdraft on February 28th. Out at about the $18.34 level, 48 million shares out there. But if you were somebody that was a bottom fisher person, then you might have this might be a place to go. I'm not suggesting you take the trade, but there are a lot of people out there that are bottom fishing, and this actually, I didn't realize it, had a test of a swing point with lighter volume. You just need to know where your overhead resistance is in this equity, and it's up all over the place. In fact, let's go ahead and put this in on a weekly chart. So let's go see what, in fact, JCPenney did last week. Let's go see if there's any candles out there worth noting. And, last week's candle was a bullish engulfing as well, but take a look at it. It had to engulf, in essence, what looks like a little bit of a spinning top, kind of doji-ish style candle from March the 29th out there. More importantly, what I would say is I would ask you to look at this. I would say when we started off the show, we were looking at the ES Mini. We were looking at that 11 o'clock time frame. So I'm going to draw those same patterns, those same lines in here. We're going to be paying attention to this candle right here, because take a look at where price is traveling with inside this. And you can see here this week, now the week is not over, but if it were to close right here, you actually have a continuation candle to the downside. Now, what does that mean? It at least means that the lows ought to be tested, the lows at least of March the 8th out there, out around $14.20 out there. So that's what that's what the weekly stock chart of JCPenney. So whenever you take a look at a possible trade, make sure that you always go up at least one level and just see if it's telling you the same picture, different picture, or what have you. Now back here, if you come all the way back into March of 09, that's where JCPenney is actually trading at. Let's go ahead and draw the line across the screen here. Let's go ahead, we'll make that a black line. It's not all the way down there. The lows there were $13.71, 40 million shares. We're done at that swing point low. Let's go ahead and put the line across on the volume chart out here. You can see coming into that level hot with a lot of volume. Had a nice little bullish engulfing here on the week of March the 13th. Of course, you can pretty much say that across the board for most of the stock charts that you do take a look at going back to last March out here. So it looks like perhaps that is really the area. Pretty amazing, traveling all the way back into the March of 09 area. So you should take a look at the stock chart. Not a whole lot of people in this equity that are actually in the money. In fact, you have to really look long and far to find anybody in the money in JCPenney. Let's go take a look at Checkpoint Software, though. Checkpoint Software trading up $1.77. Let's see here. Let me get it right. CHKP is the ticker symbol out here. So Checkpoint Software, that is up. My multitasking here. That is up $1.79, up about 4%. So let's go take a look at Checkpoint Software and see what it is doing out here. Let me put up the relative weakness indicator, relative strength indicator out here. So it did move into a oversold condition. Did that as far as candles. Have a nice now on the. Let me put the. Give me a second here. On the daily chart out here, you have a little bit of a piercing candle right here on April the 4th out there. Nice little gap up. So you got really two candle signs of strength coming out of an oversold territory. It's going to do a little test here of a resistance area, and that was set up by this gap down. Let's get rid of these lines here on the exponential moving averages. Let's go ahead and get rid of those in the stock chart. Make it a little bit easier for you to take a look at and for me to take a look at what this equity is actually doing today. So we'll put the lines across resistance level 1 and now resistance level 2, which is nothing more than identifying the gap. And that gap there, volume-wise on the gap that we're talking about, is from March the 25th, and that is 5.8 million shares. So as we take a look at this here, so far today in only 12 minutes of trading, 873,000 shares. So it's got good volume, good enough volume to take on the bears of that gap out there into resistance 1. So far it's hit that area and it's rejected, but very early in the trading session. Now, if this thing can move above the gap, where will this trade to? And take a look at this high volume low. So actually, not actually a bad setup here. We're taking a look at Checkpoint Software. Has a huge downdraft here on the trading session of October 17th. Gaps down, does it with volume of 17 million shares. I'm going to go ahead and put a black line across the screen on this. Now, take a look at that. Price here, as it was coming down, as it was getting into oversold, the top of that gap, the top of the October 17th candle, $44.45. And on the move down here, made that piercing candle on the 4th, but it made a little bit move lower. Made a lower move on April the 5th out there, got down to 44.41. Tested that level, tested 44.45, and did it on substantially lighter volume. It was 17 million shares it was going against, and it did it with 3.2 million shares. So something coming back into a decent support level. Now where is it that this thing could really run to? Well, this could run to most certainly the top of the most recent swing point, which would be out around February 28th, right around $53.02. Trading at 48.03 right now. That is on Checkpoint Software. I don't know. Let me see if there's any news on Checkpoint Software out here, because we are at the beginning here of earnings season, but I don't see anything on Checkpoint Software. In fact, for earnings season, we had Alcoa out last night with earnings. I don't see them anywhere here on my stock screen. Let's go take a look at Rio Tinto. RIO is the ticker symbol, and let's go see what that is doing. It's up a little over a buck this morning, but let's go take a look, see if we see anything. It's gapping up nicely out here. So give me a second. Let me refresh my screen, actually. Make sure that I have all the accurate data. Pull this back in, so it looks like more of a normal stock chart out here. Let's go ahead and put the relative strength indicator so you can see truly coming out of a oversold condition. Rio Tinto, no real bullish candle other than really today with its gap up, but it's going into a pretty strong resistance level. And that was the gap down formed on March 19th with 8.2 million shares. So far this morning, it has traded 554,000 shares. Not too bad for 14 minutes of trading out there. Let's take a look at, since I'm in this, let's go take a look at some of the charts that we've looked at here over the past couple of days and see what it is that we might be able to see out here. Let's take a look at IBM. We looked at IBM yesterday. Let's look at Chipotle in a few minutes here. So as we take a look at IBM forming a hammer candle yesterday. So if we take a look at the daily stock chart, yesterday's candle was a hammer candle coming into an area that should be support, a little bit of a gap up, which was the March 5th candle, 3.8 million shares, came back on, today's Tuesday, on Friday with 4.1 million shares. Yesterday, only 2.3 million shares coming into that candle and forming a hammer. So you got a hammer on IBM. Now, the good news about that is you know where the bulls are, and you also know in the case of IBM, you get a close below 207.33. If you're long, you're wrong. And what that says to me, it will not only just take out this little gap here from March 4th to 5th, but it will come all the way down to the lows of February 25th out there. Of course, that's where I suspect the market wants to go anyways, at least on its first test down. So IBM with a little hammer candle out there that was formed yesterday. Let's go take a look at Chipotle. Let's go see what they haven't looked at this chart here for a while. Then maybe we can take a look at, let's see, what else do I see on my chart out here? Oh, I know. Let's go take a look at Nokia for Rich in Orlando. I know he's been watching Nokia, and so let's go pay attention to it as well. If we take a look at Chipotle here, these are blue lines going across the screen here. I believe these are the primary trading ranges for Chipotle, so you can see it's up above its most recent level. You're above one trading range, says it can go up and at least to the top of the range, but first it'll have to get through this swing point from September 17th out there at a price point of 351. As far as candle formations on the daily in Chipotle out here, if we take a look at what it is doing right now, it's really getting above some resistance points. You had a little shooting star right back here on February the 12th. So let's go put that line across the screen. So this should have been a little bit of a resistance point. We'll go ahead and we'll put that in black across there. Other areas of resistance, you had right here on the session of April the 1st out there. That was a little dark cloud cover. So what Chipotle is doing right now, it's up over resistance area. That actually tested yesterday and turned out to be support. Take a look at that little shooting star candle. That turned out to be a support level. Old resistance becomes new support. Now it says that Chipotle, it looks like to me, wants to run up and at least test the September 17th area. 338 is the low. 351.80 is the high out there. Let's go take a look at that Nokia is the, I don't think that I have the proper pronunciation of it. And we know that Jim was taking a look at trying to get in. This had a really small size hammer candle out here that was formed on March the 25th. Nonetheless, still a hammer, and I still don't see any real conviction here. Saw a nice, cool commercial. I believe it might have been last night. In fact, congratulations to the Louisville Cardinals out there for beating my Michigan Wolverines. You know, what a great basketball series, and they call it March Madness, but I do believe today is April the 9th. So March Madness extending, much like the hockey playoffs. I believe hockey playoffs will begin in about a week, 10 days, something like that. I don't think there's many games left in the season. Of course, that'll be the middle of April, and the playoffs ought to be done by July. So that is talk about extending a season out there, at least late June for sure. Of course, the same thing can be said about baseball, right? You know, baseball runs until the flurries start, Bill. Sometimes there are flurries even during the World Series games out there. So, but was a great March, man, a great final game between Louisville and Michigan. We'd love to watch a rematch of that, but that will have to be left for another time and place out there. I probably was maybe where I saw the Nokia commercial last night. So commercial schmercial right now in this stock equity here, not seeing any kind of sign of strength. So no reason to go ahead and jump in on it. Let's go take a look at the we'll do this when we come back from break, but we'll go peek in on gold, silver, bonds, light sweet crude. We'll go take a look at the currencies as well. Right now you've got gold trading out at $1577.20. Gold attempting to move to the upper trend line of this descending price channel that it is traveling in. 877-927-6648. Dow's up 15. S&P is up only $1. We'll be right back.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page at TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. Hey, do you like to water ski out there? Well, today we could go barefoot water skiing because these markets are totally flat. Right now, the Dow is up 1 point, the composite down 30 cents, S&P up or down 60 cents, Russell 2000 down $1. We could actually do some barefoot water skiing. If you do some barefoot water skiing, it is helpful to have a nice flat surface out there. Let's go back and take a look at these markets. We're paying attention to gold here. Right now, trading out at 1576.09. A nice little bullish, not little, but a nice bullish engulfing candle here that took place on Friday. What you want to do is pay attention to the body of this candle. Right now, you can see yesterday really just a small bodied candle, just a resting point, no reversal signal or anything like that inside of gold. Today you're seeing also another inside day. In fact, if you see an inside day today and you see a close above Friday's high, not even just a close, you could, the way that you could trade it if you wanted to be an intraday trader, or you wanted to go ahead and take an early position inside gold, you'd be taking a look at the GLD. As soon as gold got above the level 1581.80. That was a close from Friday. That would be your sign. That would be your little continuation candle out there. And the nice thing about that little continuation candle is that, your targets would first have to be out here at the 1616 level. That's your March 21st swing point. But your other target really is going to be in 1616, quite frankly, if I just draw a line across the screen here, that actually, depending on the timing that this would come in, I don't think I use my dotted lines too often here on the show. We'll put a little dotted line in here. Looks like you could almost hit that level at the same time that that you're coming into the top of the descending price channel that would be out there. So it looks like it would be just a quick short trade. You've got this descending top out here, this descending top, this descending trend line, and until gold hits 1535. Or until it breaks the price channel here, it really sets up another test of the lows out there. So that is on gold, and pay attention to that because you've got that little potential continuation pattern like we were taking a look at on the ES Mini. See, this is a daily chart we're looking at. Works on all time frames. Works on 1 minute charts. Of course, you don't want to trade a 1 minute chart, but just simply if you do want to get used to the candles and see how often they work for you and how you could add that to your arsenal, go ahead and do it. Put it on shorter time frames and look at it. Let's peek in on silver here as we look at silver trading out at 27.41 out here. You don't have a similar setup with regard to a continuation pattern or anything like that inside silver. But silver now back inside that descending price channel out here. Silver most certainly could pop up into the March 21st level right around $29.32. The commitment of traders out there in gold and in silver, they are betting on big moves in those commodities. But you have to remember, those guys, it's nice to, you got to know where the big money is. But what you want to also do is you want to also make sure that you understand those guys. When I mean those guys, the big money, they take a while to build their position. And it can be a long while out there, but I can tell you right now, they're building a position that they want to be, more net long, or less net short, really the proper terminology, inside the metals out there. So there is a bottom that is forming. The question is when, and the big guys are taking their positions or continuing to build their positions out there. Let's go peek in on light sweet crude here. Light sweet crude trying to get the bulls run here. Yesterday forming a little bit of a bullish engulfing, but right now giving it up. The better buy on light sweet crude, let it come down and test the bottom of this rising price channel. Folks, thanks so much for being here. Stay tuned for the Money Master Show. If you're off to start your day, have a great Tuesday, and always remember, you have an amazing power within yourself, and that power is so strong it'll create a life of abundance, cure incurable diseases, build billion-dollar businesses, paint magnificent masterpieces, but most of all, create fantastic, loving families. Thanks so much for being a part of the TFNN family. Have a great day, folks. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Let me tell you something, folks. I have people coming up to me saying, I just can't believe the amount of work that Steve does on his newsletter. And I says, I absolutely agree.
That is a recent clip from the Money Masters show that Tom and I do each day at TFNN. My newsletter service, Mastering Probability, is much, much more than a newsletter. Yes, it's outperformed the S&P 500 by 100% during the last 15 months. But more importantly, it's an extraordinary education, a roadmap for your success. And it's yours risk-free for the next 30 days. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and then Mastering Probability, because everyone needs a success strategy. For most, it's a competitive edge, the will to win, the drive to overcome any obstacle. Whatever you call it, winners find a way. Find your way to Mastering Probability today, because your journey to extraordinary rewards is just one click away.